perfect loaf. Hi everyone, Ellen here. I'm in the Alyce Alexandra kitchen today, and today I'm going to be making our dirty gluten-free loaf. This bread is delicious. It is in our ebook Wholesome Gluten Free Bread, and it is the dirty loaf. So I want to make it today with you guys and give you some hints and tips on the way, which will sort of help you out. But it really is an easy and delicious bread. So I'm going to show you how to make it. So first, I'm just going to go, there's a few ingredients that go in it, so I'm going to do all that and speed it up so not to bore you. Okay, so the last step is we're going to add our water and then knead it. Now the trick is you need this to be warm water. It needs to feed the yeast, but too hot and it will kill the yeast. So a really good way to test if it is the right temperature, because we get this question a lot about, you know, warm water. It's a hard one. What's too hot, what's too cold? So put your finger in. You shouldn't feel the water. So if it feels too warm on your finger, it is warm. If it feels too cold, it is too cold. The trick is you actually don't want to feel the water, and that means it's like a perfect blood temperature. So that for me, can't feel anything, so that's perfect. Time to put in 680 warm water. You definitely don't want it hotter than 37 degrees, which is why that test is really good. So 680. Water in, and then our last step is to mix for 10 seconds, speed 6. I'm going to scrape down the sides and then mix for a further 15 seconds, speed 5. So mixing down, pushing down the sides. These spatulas, our AA spatulas, are amazing for that. And then we're going to do a further 15 seconds, speed 5. So now this is my pre-lined sandwich tin. I've done that before. You have to do that before you make your bread, because you have to immediately tip in your mixture into your bread tin. Otherwise, if you do your mixture and then you decide to line your bread tin, this mixture will thicken really, really fast. And then it will be really hard to get it out of your Thermomix. So see, it's really easy to pour at this stage. So you want to get it into your tin really quickly. Just use a spatula. All out. Perfect. Now with this loaf, you're leaving it to double in size. So that's going to be different for a different amount of time for everyone, depending on where you are, because it's going to go off the weather. If it's really hot, this can be doubled in size and ready to bake in half an hour. Or if it's in the middle of winter, in Melbourne and you've got no heating, this can take 3 to 4 hours. So you do have to watch it. So when you put your mixture in, you want to bang it. You want to bang it on your bench to get rid of all the air bubbles and just really condense it down so there's no holes in it. Now, the waiting to double in size. This is the hardest part with this recipe. As soon as it is doubled in size, you want to put it into your hot oven. I think it's 220 degrees. Yes. You don't want to overprove this recipe. If it doubles in size and you think, great, that's the size it's meant to be, I'll start preheating my oven now, and then your oven takes half an hour to heat up, this would have overproved. Now, if you overprove this bread, when you cut it, it means between your doughy bread and your crust, you're going to get a big hole there. It's going to look really weird and it's going to be very confusing and ugly. So that means you've overproofed this bread. So I know my oven doesn't take long to heat up, I'm really lucky. So when this is nearly ready, I can just whack my oven on. If you're somewhere warm and your oven takes a long time to heat up, I would put your oven on to preheat now. You don't want to overproof this. So watch it carefully and make sure when it's ready to go, your oven is at 220 degrees. Never put bread in the oven until the oven has reached the temperature that it is meant to be. So don't think, oh, it's ready, but my oven's at 180, so I'll put it in now. No, you have to wait till your oven is super hot. So I'm gonna let this double in size, see how long it takes, and I'll bring it back to you when it's all ready to go. See it there. Okay, and we're back and our bread is ready to bake. It has been sitting for 3 hours and it's quite cool in the kitchen. Oh wait, I forgot to say, you cover it with a shower cap. We love these. Reuse over and over and over again, but they're super handy for covering bread, but just keep reusing them. So we had it covered and it has doubled in size. So my oven is on at 220 and it is ready to go in right now as our bread is ready. So there we go. Perfectly doubled in size. So any longer and we're going to have it overproofed, which I told you is the biggest risk can happen with this bread and you don't want it to. So this is going in the oven now and I'll come back when I have the finished result. And we have our gluten-free loaf. So 20 minutes in the oven in the tin, then I took it out of the tin and left it on the rack in the oven for another half an hour, and that's all it needs. And now it's got to cool for an hour and a half before you cut it. Really important you leave it for the hour and a half before you cut. But that's it. This is your gluten-free dirty loaf from our gluten-free bread digital book. Look at that, you would have no idea that was gluten-free. It's the perfect loaf. So yeah, just leave it to cool and then cut. And enjoy, obviously. You could slice it up and freeze it or eat it all in a day, whatever works. And so, yeah, that's it. I hope I've shown you guys